So Gugesh finally played g4, attacking the bishop. The bishop has to go where? Where do you suggest the bishop should go? Ding has got 30 minutes on the clock. Gugesh has 1 hour 11 minutes. So time is not a problem. Yeah, bishop d5 makes sense, attacking the rook. Played rook d6. Bishop goes to b7. And now he brings his king also into the game. So slowly making progress. His rook is active, king is active. He's ready to play f5 soon. His pawn is already controlling these two. Check, then bishop will block or pawn will again come forward. So he won't go back with the king. So now Ding decides to play f3, exchange of one more pair of pawns. Gugesh cannot avoid it, right? So the more exchanges happen, if either rook exchange happens or bishop exchange happens, it's going to be like 100% draw, right? Yeah. And pawn exchange, if one more pawn get exchanged, it's completely draw. And what happens if both the pawns get exchanged? Then how will white win with rook and bishop? So anyway, so f3, Gugesh plays f5. Ding takes. Important decision. Rayansh, how do you take back? With the f pawn, says Rayansh. How many of you want to take with the h pawn? Okay. So 3 of you want to take with the f. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So Ashvik, f pawn. You are saying h pawn. Paripra and Praneeth. Okay. Vihan is saying f pawn. Okay. So in a lot of endgames, if you're left with an extra h pawn, you will not be able to win that endgame. Like you will have endgames with just one h pawn and kings. You will not be able to win even if you have the extra pawn. Even if your king is ahead, you can't win because it's a rook's pawn. So it's better to not have an h pawn. So it's better here to take with the h pawn, so that you don't have the h pawn anymore. You have an f and g. H pawn will lead to draws more. Yes. Huh. Yeah. Good point. Here king has some cover from the f pawn. So yeah. So he took with the h pawn, and now rook waits. Rook b4. Bishop f7. The bishop is trying to come to better squares. King comes to f2. Rook check. Asking the king, where are you going? If you go away, then rook will come and start attacking the. I mean, not there. Rook will come here. Start. Yeah. I mean, he can activate it, but he goes back to g1. He's happy here. Now, king f6. Improve all your pieces. Rook to d3, then king will again come up. What's the point? That doesn't help, no? Everything. Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not what he's doing. He knows that this position is drawish. He's trying by improving his pieces. At least let me improve everything and see if it leads anywhere. He's not like I'm going to win, I'll win, I'm going to do everything well and win. No, he knows that position is drawish. So he goes, what happened? Rook d3, king f2. Where? That's how you blunder your game away. Yeah, right. So king to f6, rook to b6. Do you remember this position, Arav? Where do you see? Did you see it? Yeah, the final moments of the World Championship where something unexpected happened, something that has never happened before happened. Anyway, we'll get there. Right now, we are seeing the moves that lead there. So rook b6. So it's important to understand how did Ding blunder in that position in the future, like in the next few moves. He is in a worse position, but not losing, right? Because it's very difficult for Gugesh to push this pawn. If he's able to create a pass pawn, he can try to win, but he cannot push. So rook b6 check. The king went back, and now rook comes back here, stopping the pawn again. Bishop e6. Again, just waiting. Rook a4. Rook b2. Attacking the bishop. Bishop went to e8. This is a little bit strange choice by Ding. It doesn't lose, but the bishop had better squares like c6, g2. Two other options were there, but he decided to go to a8, which later becomes a problem. Now it doesn't seem like a problem. It's defended by the rook. Rook cannot attack it. That's why he put it there. Now let's try to understand how can black try to win this. We all know it's very drawish because just one pawn extra on the same side. If one more exchange happens, either rook exchange or bishop exchange or one more pawn exchange also, it should lead to a draw. So how will black try to win this? What is the only chance for black? What does Mukesh want? Can you try to figure out a plan to improve this position? To try to win? Yes.
Sir, rook to a2.
Rook to a2, rook takes.
Bishop takes.
I move my bishop.
Then we are 2 points up.
2 points up. How are you 2 points up?
We are 1 point up.
Then that's drawing now. With one bishop, how will you win that? If rooks are gone, how on earth will you win this? If you push one pawn, I'll take it, you'll take. You cannot promote the pawn. Bishop will take it, the pawn. Bishop will give up the bishop for the pawn. So you can never win with one extra pawn in a bishop same color in game or a bishop opposite color also. So that is out of the question. No, rook cannot be exchanged now. So we need a plan. There is no immediate way to win. We have to. No, the rook was here. King f6. Wait, 1 second. Yeah, bishop a8. Yeah, this is the position. It's black's turn. So what is a plan to try and improve the position? It's very difficult to find any plan. Anybody? Okay, all right. We're not looking for a win. We're just trying to find out how to improve it to try and win. Okay, time to decide. Anybody? No? So the only plan that is kind of possible here is you bring the bishop here, you bring it here, and then with the support of the rook, you bring it here. Can you calculate that much? Like we are talking about a plan, not opponent's moves. Opponent cannot do anything. Ding cannot do anything. He'll just wait. So you bring your bishop here with the support of the rook. So bishop will take, pawn will take. Then you have a pass pawn. Then you bring your king and try to win this. That's the only. Can you stop making noise, Praneeth? That is the only possible way to take this forward. That's what Gugesh is basically going for. So let's go back. Rook was here and bishop was here. So here Gugesh first activates the king. King f6. Makes sense, right? Ding plays rook f4. Just waiting on that rank so that the pawn can never push. King e5. Huh. So now Gugesh move is obvious. He wants to activate the king. So here it is like a fortress. Black is not able to break through this. The only way to break through will be if the bishop comes here with support of the rook, which is possible. So it's not that easy to defend also, but at the top level they should be able to hold this. Even if bishop e4 is possible, like happens, takes pawn takes, it's still a draw. But here Ding had a very vulnerable moment, a weak moment for a world champion. He somehow under pressure he decided it's time to force things. Let me exchange of more pieces and make it a draw instantly. Till now, we saw so many instances where exchange of rooks draw, exchange of bishops draw, exchange of pawn also would be mostly draw. So he now I'm explaining, no? So please be quiet. So here Ding played one of the worst blunders in a world championship. Rook to f2, trying to force things, trying to force an exchange of rooks. And this is where he lost the world championship. Why? Those who haven't seen it before, why is this move a blunder? What is so bad about rook f2? Yes, Vihan.
So rook takes rook,
Hmm.
then king takes,
Hmm.
and then bishop to d5.
So bishop takes.
Then I'll take with the king.
So why is that position winning?
Because Gukesh has 2 pawns and King has only 1 pawn, and then Gukesh can push the pawn and promote.
Push the pawn and promote. If the push the pawn will take it, no?
No, first we need to.
You have to move your king in. So you're saying the pawn game is winning. Yeah. So the out of all these possibilities, there is only like one possibility where Gukesh wins, which is if it becomes a pawn in game with the pawn up. He's already pawn up. If it becomes a pawn in game, he's winning. Like most of the pawn games with the pawn up is winning. So that is very rare that it happens. Somehow Ding fell for exactly that. He played rook f2. Gugesh, after absorbing the moment, realizing that he is winning, played rook takes, king takes, and now the crucial move that was because the bishop is in the corner. If the bishop was somewhere else like g2 or c6, it's not a win. Because now if you play bishop d5, what will white do, Praneeth? Praneeth Kulkarni. If the bishop was already here and black played bishop d5, what would white do? What would Ding do? I'm asking Praneeth. Huh. Huh, anywhere. You're acting like it's a big moment. You just move the bishop. Don't exchange bishops. If you don't exchange bishops, it's a draw. Because black cannot push anything. There's nothing to do for black. Right? But the problem is, in this position, the bishop is on a8. And that move that he played, and now Gugesh's bishop d5, and Ding cannot refuse the exchange of bishops. So the game becomes a pawn and game. It's out of Ding's control. And after takes, it's a winning pawn and game. Yeah, the only chance, I mean, there's no chance. Like, you can bring your king. Now let me ask uh, Praneeth Shekhar, what will you do for black? You're about to become world champion. One move.
Can I bring my king to e5?
Yeah, king to e5. Oppose, and when the king moves away, like here, Ding resigned. And this is where Gugesh became the 18th world champion, the youngest world champion at the age of 18. Why? Yeah, yeah. Magnus was became world champion at 22, and Kasparov before that. So here, why did he resign? What happens if king moves to d3? Let me ask Ashvik. What happens if king goes to d3, Ashvik? Yeah, pawn f4, and after pawn takes, king takes, it's winning because king is ahead of the pawn. Like king d3, pawn f4, takes, king moves. What's the next step? We have pawn g3 is how you not how you draw the game. Aripra.
First, you go into opposite
E4. Then again king f2. See, 1 second. So how many of you know how to win with one extra pawn? When is it winning? When is it drawing? How many of you know clearly? Clearly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure, Praneeth? No. Okay. So Athar, what do you do here to win?
So you move the king in front of the pawn.
Yeah. To win a pawn in game with one pawn extra, keep your hands down, Arav. To win with one pawn extra, your king has to be ahead of the pawn. If your king is not ahead, like imagine this position, you cannot win. You can push the pawn all you want, but you will not be able to win. It will lead to a stalemate later. So your king has to be ahead, and king should go to g3. Once you do that, it's a simple win. Because now let's say white moves somewhere. Let me ask Praneeth Kulkarni, what's the next move for black? Yeah, king h2 and it's over. You promote the pawn, right? So that is why if the king moves away, f4 will happen. So here king d3, f4 will happen, and it's winning. And if king moves to f2, let me ask Rayansh, what will you play for black? Pawn to f4. What did we just learn, Rayansh? Just now, like 1 minute back. What did we learn, Rayansh? What did we learn? We didn't learn anything.
So we learn to put the king ahead of the pawn.
So we learned that if the king is not ahead of the pawn, it's not a win, it's a draw. And what are you doing? You're throwing away the game. You play f4, what will happen? Takes, is the black king ahead. So why should black move the pawn? So you have to apply what you're learning, no? Otherwise there's no point. Ashvik, what should? Yeah, just activate the king. Just bring the king down. But then he'll play not king e4. If you play king e4, then king e2. Then what do you do? Not king e4. Then pawn takes now. That's the same thing now. You're going into the same problem again. If your king is not ahead of the pawn, you can't win, mister. Why are you again falling for the same thing? Just now I told Rayansh itself. No? So this is a draw. You can't win. Because white is your opposition. You can't move forward. If you push the pawn, takes, king comes, draw. You can't win that. So let's go back. So what did he do wrong? After king, here, after king f2, what is the correct move? Who can find out? The only move that wins. Anybody? Praneeth Shekhar.
King d4.
Yeah, king d4. Don't give your opponent the opposition. Now, if they move away, you will keep coming in. They'll run out of squares, you will get that pawn also. That's what we call edging the king away. So king moves, you bring the king moves, again king in. You win that pawn. So he will not go away, he'll come here. Now what's the difference, Rayansh? What should black do here? What to do to win?
Sir, king d4.
Yeah, you have the opposition. Na? Now you have the opposition. Earlier, opponent played king e2. You can't go forward. Now you are in front of him. You're opposing him. So he has to go away. If he goes away here, king f3 wins. King f2, let me ask Arav.
Sir, king d3.
Yeah, you come forward. That's the advantage of having the opposition. You can go forward. Yes.
This is only possible because g5, d5. Like you can't happen if you do it on opposition can't take it on a5 or h5.
Because it's a rook's pawn. But that is in one pawn, and this is 2 versus 1. That is no connection to that. Here, if this was h and g, also same thing. If you get your king forward, you win. If it is one pawn and just king, then h and a, even if you have the opposition, you can't win because it's the corner pawn. You can't promote. So now, after he moves the king, let's say, you bring your king in. Again, do we come here?
No.
We can, it's fine. Here, now it doesn't matter because even if he takes the opposition, you are going to get that pawn. It's already over. So that is where Ding resigned after king e5, king e3. And that's. Huh? Yeah, but nobody plays till there, na? At the